This activity here is a good activity used for teaching fractions to your students and children, and it's called Who is Winning, and it is based off of the game red light, green light, where students run from one end to the other to the finish line, and when the red light is called, they have to stop, and when the green light is called, that's when they can go. And here are with the 6 names I have above, there's a fraction next to them, and that's where they are at the point that the red light is called and how close they are to the finish line. So the goal is for the students to put the marks on the line of where the students are to see, where the runners are to see how far they are and who is winning the race at this point. And so the first person we would start with would be Meredith, who's 1/2, and the first thing we do would be put a mark right in the middle for Meredith at 1/2. So the next person we would probably look at most likely would be Emma because of she's 3/4, which is 1/2 equivalent to 2/4. So then she's one more quarter above. So that's halfway in between her mark and the finish line. So that's where Emma is right now. She's at 3/4 of the way. The next one we could look at would be Han, who's at 5/8. And that's very similar to relates to 1/2 and 3/4 because Meredith's 1/2 is the same thing as 4/8, and Emma's 3/4 is equivalent to 6/8. So we would have to put Han right in the middle at 5/8. And then the next person we can look at is Miguel, who is 5/9, which is going to be smaller than 5/8 because the denominator is a small number while the numerators are the same. And then we know that 5/9 is over 1/2, so we're going to have to put Miguel right in between Han and Meredith. We have to put, Miguel right in between Han and Meredith. And then, so the next person we can look at would be Angelica, who is 2/3. And we know that 2/3 is over 50%, but less than 3/4. So we would have to put, and we know that Han is, and 2/3 is over 5/8. If we figure out the math, so we know it's going to be bigger than 5/9 because 6/9 would be 2/3. So then we would have to put Angelica right in between Han and Emma. And the last person we look at is Jack, who's at 5/6, which is the biggest fraction out of all this because 4/6 is equivalent to 2/3, and that's here. And so we would know that we would have to split them up in between the finish line and there, and the middle of that would be right there, which puts Jack in the lead of the race. And that's a very good fraction activity for kids to use, and it can be varied in different ways. You could have common denominators, which makes it easier for kids to see, and there's also a lot more denominators that you can choose to make it more of an uneven race.